Welcome, everyone. I would say let's wait a couple of minutes so that everyone can join, and then we can start our presentation, and after that, the demo. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I think I will start now. So thank you for joining us today. My name is Arianna, and I am a crisis scenario designer at Conducttr. And with me, there's Charlie, who's our trainer coordinator. As a company, we believe that people should learn by experiencing in realistic environments. And that's why today we are going to show you a crisis exercise created using our software. So our software is called Conducttr, and it's a crisis simulation platform that allows our clients to create and run their own exercises in a very realistic environment. In this exercise, you'll be working for a company called Insurance Group in Turkey that will be affected by an earthquake. Your role will be in the crisis management team. And please be aware that this is just an example of an exercise that you can create with Conducttr. So if you see something that you think you would never do in an exercise, don't worry. Because remember that with Conducttr, you can create your exercises exactly as you want them to be. This demonstration, as we said, is an earthquake scenario where you're going to be asked to make decisions and identify your priorities. And as you will see in a minute, Conducttr is fully interactive, and you will have the same option that you have in real life to interact with the content you are receiving. So this is the virtual desktop, and the way participants interact with Conducttr is by using it. The virtual desktop is a simulated environment where the crisis unfolds. And this virtual desktop looks similar to the one showing you in the screenshot here. Once I give you access to it, the idea is that you will interact with the different channels available the same way you would do in real life. So all the buttons work the same way you would expect them to work, and everything is completely simulated. So please feel free to interact with the platform as much as you want to, as this will make the whole experience much more fun. A final note before starting the exercise. These are the differences between what you are going to see today and what a real exercise looks like. The main difference is that, as we said, this is just a demonstration where we are showing you that we know technology and storytelling. But when our clients create their own exercises, they are the experts, so they know exactly how the exercise needs to unfold to meet their training objectives. Finally, in this demo, all the elements that you will see are fictionalized. Of course, when our clients create their scenarios instead, they can include elements from the real world. So their names, real pictures, or whatever they want to have personalized in order to make the whole experience even more immersive. This will be the environment for today. I'll be running the exercise using the facilitator dashboard while you will be joining us as a participant. What will you see is the virtual desktop, as I mentioned before. Please feel free to interact with it as much as you want. Final thing, I think I will be sharing my screen the whole time, but please stay on yours as it will be way more interesting if you enjoy the demo. And at the end, we will have time to see a few things from the facilitator's perspective. Okay. So this is the link. Please use it to join. And you will need to use any browser you want except for Internet Explorer. You can see, thank you, Charlie, for sharing the link. Okay, I will give you a couple of minutes to manage to access the platform. And please feel free to start exploring around the different channels. And okay. So we can see that we are starting receiving some new tweets. So while you are exploring the platform, you will see that there will be a red dot, which is getting on whenever a new content is being released. And we are now seeing the role you will have in this exercise, which is, as I said before, in the crisis management team. And if you need it, you will find it in the drive, say, through the whole exercise. There's like a welcome email. And maybe if you want to reply to that, feel free to do that. So that you can start interacting with the platform. Also, if you want, you can start sharing on Twitter as well, with comments or tweets or any kind of comment you want to share. And we can see there's a new channel open as well, the map channel, which signal where exactly the insurance group here is positioned. And remember, this is the business as usual phase, so everything is kind of like calm. If you want, you can go on the social watch and add with the plus, you can see on the left some keywords which you will be analyzing. So for example, we can have, and later on, we will see that there are some, like that all the tweets with that word will be gathered here. In the meanwhile, we see that there's also sort of Slack, where colleagues are speaking among them, and you can reply them. So they are proposing for lunch out. And you can say if you are there or not. Also, if we go on Twitter now, we see that there's like a tweet from a media, and if you click on read the story here, you can go directly to the news and read it, and it talks about the upcoming elections in Turkey. Remember that everything here is fictionalized, so the articles as well. We can see we have a new version of an email where we can choose one of the two options. We can see there's like a new article about how to avoid earthquake consequences. And immediately after that, your colleagues are starting to chat about that. And as a crisis management team, you receive an email asking you what to do next. So while replying to the mail of Borahan, you can see that we have a new tweet talking about the fact that the seismograph has registered a magnitude of 2.7, which is not really high for now. And you can see it evolving, always in the seismograph panel. There's some updates as well. And I will receive a message from the police saying about the danger of seismological activity in the region where our firm is located. So you as the crisis management team, you will receive many questions from your colleagues who are worried about the future of the firm and what's the next step to be undergone. And now the seismograph is actually registering much higher shakes of magnitude. So there's like another map update, which shows that a huge and bad earthquake happened, just happened. And people are starting to talk about what's happening on Twitter. So we just received a news from the media talking about the situation. And now we are 2 days later. So you start receiving anime about business continuity and how to deal with it. You start receiving news about the deadly earthquake which hits Turkey. And the email from the Turkish fire services, which are asking you support since you are an insurance firm. And now you are receiving a call which you should accept. And after the call, you directly receive another email from the same person who called you. And more mail are coming from your clients. Who are worried or looking for, like, some help after the disaster. And you can also see some of them are starting to complain on Twitter because they are not really happy about the insurance response. They are not really happy about how you are handling the situation and the things. And this might lead to, like, to some more questioning from them. You have to be careful that maybe not many media pick up the news about the clients complaining, otherwise they could make this news viral. And your reputation might have, like, some damage. Some damages. And of course, your manager is like telling you about the situation. So there are a lot of customers' calls and requests for help because she's aware that something is not going really well. And this was the end of the exercise. Thank you everyone for participating. So if you want to change one moment your screen and come to see again what I was seeing, I will show you. So first of all, the person who was replying to your email was Charlie, who had impersonations too. So he could reply to each of your email. As you can see from my screen, I have all the email you wrote, so I could see what you were writing and when. I did have a timeline, which I could check about how long have you been taking to reply to each single question. And I also had the data point here, so I could see who replied and what. Of course, in a real exercise, you can download all of these reports, so you can have an after action review with your players. And yeah, I will now stop sharing. And if you have any questions, please go on. And then Charlie will do our best to reply to everything. I hope you enjoyed it. So is there a way to customize these exercises? Charlie, do you want to reply or do you want me to go on?
It's up to you. I'm happy to reply to this one. So is there a way to customize these exercises? The short answer is yes. We have a scenario editor. So Conducttr, which is a software, you can basically customize this exercise or any exercise to any specifications you have. Whether that's a cyber attack, an earthquake, it could be a snowstorm. So everything is customizable, even the channels as well. So if you want to, simulate Outlook email or Gmail, for example, you can do that as well. So everything is customizable. Yeah.
The platform is very flexible, so you can change pictures, emails, you can change videos, names, length of the exercise, kind of questions. Everything is customizable. And thank you, Yusuf. Thank you very much. And of course, this is just a demo, so that's why that was so brief. But as I said before, if you are going to create your own exercise, you can decide the length. We have clients who use even for different week platform. So your exercise can actually be even week long. Have any other questions? Like I think we still have like some minutes, or otherwise we have a website that you can visit, and we have like you can email us there, and we will be able to reply. Charlie, do you want to go on with this question?
Sorry, which question is this one? Oh, this one here. How much complexity is the software able to handle? Would it be able to model and simulate the interaction between multiple hazards at once? So we have exercises and clients have exercises that are very basic and also very advanced. So essentially, if you want to simulate a really complex scenario or situation and have multiple hazards and different interactions and everything going, that's completely possible. We have different licenses which allow you to have different features, but yeah, that's completely possible. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Ariana, in terms of that.
Yeah. For example, I was thinking you could add to the earthquake a cyber attack as well, for example, or post-electoral riots. So just imagine maybe the earthquake was post-elections. So other than people complaining about the results of the elections, maybe there are people complaining also about the bad handling of the earthquake. And at the same time, there might be like a cyber attack to, I don't know, your own firm or to the government with a breach of data. Yeah, so you can definitely have different layers of hazards and different crises in one. Just be aware that, of course, the scenario will be longer, and of course it will take also longer to model it, but and yes, this can work in whatever region, like in the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, but Europe and the USA as well. It's also that is how can you say, is flexible, so you can decide where to set it. Charlie, do you want to go on with the COVID one?
Is it possible to simulate a group exercise where they are able to discuss with each other live post-COVID and with limited travel exercise? Virtual exercising has become a norm. So we have a channel called Team Chat Plus, which is essentially kind of a simulation of Microsoft Teams. So players can create private channels with a certain number of players in there, or you can have open channels where everyone can discuss. What's quite common as well is actually some of our clients will have a Zoom open in the background and sometimes communicate that way as well. So there's different ways of doing it. But yeah, no, that's completely possible to chat to each other live. I was a bit confused about the multiple social media links. Is the intention to have one for staff to communicate on and others to engage with customers, community?
So Shelley, for example, the social media links. So for example, you mean Twitter, or emails, because for example, emails is for the communication both with customers and your own colleagues. Then we had messengers, which was only for like colleagues and staff of the firm. While Twitter and Facebook, which we didn't use actually, it was as the real Twitter. So it was like people complaining publicly about the response of the firm, for example. I hope this replied your question.
But essentially with the social media and the Twitter feeds, it's one Twitter feed that's kind of universal for all the players, but you can specify beforehand if you want certain personas to be following certain people.
So what do we do with risks or emerging risks with high levels of uncertainty, where the impacts and interactions are not fully understood before the event? Charlie, do you want to reply?
So let me just read this. So what do you do with the risks, emerging risks with high levels of uncertainty, where the impacts, interactions are not fully understood? So I guess your whole exercise is kind of predefined to an extent where you decide which injects you're going to send through which pieces of content. But we do have something called pattern of life, which is a more flexible way to send content on demand. So essentially, depending on what license you have the ability to actually branch your exercise and send content live on demand during an exercise. So for example, in a cyber attack, you know, you've got your players and you might have a decision for them to make. Are they going to pay it or not? And depending on what they answer, or depending on what the majority say, you could branch this exercise and go down different routes. So I hope that answers your question in terms of, yeah.
As Charlie was saying, we have different mails which can be created. So depending on the answers of the players, we will be able to send or not a certain kind of index. And yeah, Charlie, the seismograph channel could be replaced by any other kind of graph. And the map can be replaced with any kind of maps you need. So in this occasion, we use the Turkish one because the earthquake was set there. But you could have like an Australian map, of course. And you also have the channels to share the reports you need. as I was saying before, if you have like longer questions, or maybe you will have a question which will come later, you can contact us. We have a support team who will reply immediately to read your requests. Maybe we can share our email again on the channel so that are easily find them. This is mine, and thank you again a lot for joining us today. Thank you a lot for interacting with us within the simulation, and thank you a lot for your questions. We hope we replied everything. And yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.